Ladies and gentlemen, it is my prayer and hope that this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end. So let me know where you're watching this video from, which country, which continent, and which state. From the Middle East, I'm doing fine as you can see. So guys, I want to speak and bring to your attention two particular issues. Then I will ask a question that will make the three items that you want to discuss about during this deliberation or discourse. Number one, Amara unveil the brand manager. Number two, brand's future and its ordeal. That now brand stands a wanted man. What is in brand future? And number three, why the mixed reaction when it comes to Iammarwa's brand manager unveilment. So these are the three things that we seek to answer and we seek to speak to during this discourse. So if you're coming across this channel for the very first time on this video, kindly click at the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. Without your support, this channel wouldn't be at this pace. So let's dive in after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chat. My name is Inazak and this is my YouTube channel. So let's dive in lest we forget. Guys, first thing first, for quite something like 2 years and above, you remember my entrance to this reaction. I used to champion on things, majorly what is called the brand positioning and the brand promotion when it comes to Amara brand. These are the things that I talked earlier below when I was just starting my channel or joining reaction or a review when it comes to Iammarwa's brand. I recommended majority of things that Amara ought to have done and considered. And I must to confirm to you that I am a very happy man when I've seen Amara as unveiled eventually a brand manager. I just want to stick to the issue, the substance of a form. The first question that I must ask you, are there substance of a form? The reasons why I'm asking this question is because majority of people at the comment section are trying to question Iammarwa, are trying to give in advice to Iammarwa. Others are pro it, others are against it. We'll have to dwell the reasons why others are against it and others are pro it. The question two, is yours truly, Zach Senior, against or pro it? I'm a man of a principle, I'm a man of my words. I say I'm 100% pro it because this is what for a long time I've been advocating for. Because as Iammarwa stand when it comes to brand positioning and brand's promotion, Amara is top notch. I've told you several times there are untapped potentials and the existing gaps when it comes to Iammarwa's content creation and creativity that Amara needed to maximize on it. If majority of people, maybe you think that I'm so new in this YouTube street, these are the things that I spoke to it and I spoke to them 2 or 3 years ago when Amara was having party. I really spoke to it. The reasons why I'm telling you, it's at this moment, there are things that Iammarwa should just be getting for free as other celebrities. The status of Iammarwa warrants Iammarwa to have a particular kind of shop when Amara does the shopping, and it's for free. Amara's trips should be funded for free. These are the things that I was telling Iammarwa, and I was telling people, and I've even given example, even the local artist and the local celebrity back at home. Others, I give an example of Amara's friend, and this is Jalango. Jalango now is a member of parliament. If you can remember, the guy who met Amara with Mutua 3, then they went up to the White House, then they took photo. That guy now is a member of parliament, and that guy is a celebrity still now. I tell you, that guy built a house in Nairobi bought a land, built a house free of charge, just because he got an endorsement from other corporate companies. That is the status and the league that Iammarwa should be playing. It's not the first time Zaxin is speaking about it, but I've spoken severally about it. But I must be very happy. Perhaps let's see what is in the store for Iammarwa when Amara was unveiling the brand manager.
Amara will deliver.
Yes.
If you look at his YouTube analytics,
yes,
the rating for his engagement is excellent.
Yes, we can even show them. It's because I just want to hide the money part. You can hold this. I take a screenshot here. I show you. I'll just I just don't want to show you my money side, but I'm just checking right now, guys. I'm opening. Yes. Let me just hide the money side, because money can bring problems. Some people would want to say, oh, this guy. Okay, and then I wanted to show you people watching, which countries are watching. Lately I've realized even Kenya.
You go to studio and
where
statistic.
Yeah, dashboard.
Yeah.
Audience.
Yeah, analytics.
Okay, while
But let him keep
yes.
explaining.
I did a 43-page proposal to Marwa.
Okay.
It was about the research on his audience,
yes,
the niche, and
yes.
the
43 pages, guy. Like
it's very serious, guys.
Very serious.
If I make it, also you are making it.
I really like that about him. That's why I answer. We even had a meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Video when Amara was with the brand manager. I still maintain my stance. There's nothing wrong with it. All is fine. But the question that I must ask, and we must deal with them now, why is there misreaction? I want to tell people that there's no problem with misreactions. Other people might fail Sojitas, others might be 50-50, others might be sure best. I guess majority of people are thinking that the guy is going to handle even Amara's account, because majority of people were raising the questions that Amara should not trust anybody with its YouTube account, that this is how other people lose their accounts. I want to tell you, the issues of brand manager and the issues of product promotion and brand promotion that gives the whole brand its positive reputation does not warrant a person being managed to hand in every details that is so important to the sole proprietor. That's a matter of fact, because the point where people are drawing this attention is when Amara said that it's going to remove all his contact, then the contacts of this guy, the brand manager, that's called Obiero, is going to be there. When Amara was speaking to it, because this is how brands work. Brands work is, you will be dealing with the brand manager when you are dealing with only businesses. When you're dealing with only businesses, leave alone the issue of YouTube and creativity. The guy is just going to advise Iammarwa on how Iammarwa can tap in the gaps that were missing. So what were the existing gaps that Iammarwa never tapped onto? One, brand endorsement. We heard Amara telling us quite a number of times he's been reached out with corporate, even Fly Asia, to be the brand ambassador. But because there's a lot of dealings, there's a lot of administrative culture involved in it, Amara couldn't manage, and Amara decided to forfeit all these kind of things. And if you remember those times, I needed I used to talk to Amara that Amara needed somebody, a team of 2 or 3, or specifically even if you start with 1, to go and sort out this errand, such that when a company is sorting you, therefore you send your manager over there. As I understood this guy is mainly going to manage the business of Iammarwa. So looking for the brands that would want to work with Iammarwa, looking for the brands that would want to endorse Iammarwa's charity and Iammarwa's projects. Number 1, Amaros have involved himself in particular kind of projects, building houses. And imagine the houses that Amaro is building because of Iammarwa's social capital and influence that is having. And that's why you see Obiero, the manager, the brand manager, is taking that Iammarwa's niche and Iammarwa's content and Iammarwa's brand itself is so viable. It's top notch. When you look at the analytics, it tells you that it's something that is so vibrant that when it's given a fine-tuned and all the gaps are filled so that there are no pilferages, therefore the brand itself could be so solid and Iammarwa will be back at its epitomeness. Those are the gaps number one. The gaps number one that I told you is the brand's endorsement, that this guy will be in charge of brand endorsement. That anything brand and corporates that want to partner with Iammarwa, this is the guy to go and negotiate and champion. But in consultation with Iammarwa. So he will be the one representing Iammarwa in such kind of meetings, boardroom meeting. So that if Amara is wanted in that boardroom, Amara will be there for a show, maybe something like 5 minutes, then it's gone. So the person who will be in forefront of running day-to-day activity when it comes to business is that guy, leave alone YouTube. The YouTube itself shall be, Amara shall be receiving briefings on how to carry himself when it comes to issues vlogging going forward, because there are things that Amara must wade off going forward because Amara is being managed. We know Amara's vlog for a number of times has been raw and uncut. But at the moment, Amara will be told, you are doing this particular kind of vlog, but there is a brand that I've told you, going forward, we will be kitting you. All the camera, all the sunglasses, all the handbags, all the watch, everything must be kitted, and anytime you are doing these vlogs, you must appear with them during your vlogs. And you must be mentioning them 2 or 3 times in your vlogs of 1 hour. Therefore, such kind of agreements. So this is the guy who will be managing all sorts of the things, the business-wise. Number 2, Iammarwa, wants to start the business of safaris. And this is the guy that also will manage Iammarwa's business as far as safaris is concerned. This is the guy who will also be involved of looking for the clients around. These are the guy who will categorically implement and manage Iammarwa's businesses. Leave alone YouTube. YouTube itself also, Iammarwa should never be taking it as a vlog or as a niche. It should be as a business, so that when there is an essence, that business of YouTubing has been taken not as just a mere vlog, but as a business. Therefore, the issues of capital shall be generated to the maximum that will help to fund in other business or create in other businesses. Number 1, Amara is only having one channel. But you see, this channel has been mixed with other kind of activities. While you see other celebrities, they have 2 or 3 channels. So that when they want to do charity, they do charity on other channels. Which means I'm proposing, and what I'm thinking, that Iammarwa will also be created a channel mainly for business and mainly for charity. So that when Amara is doing charity, there's a specific channel that he does charity with. And that is the only channel that should be, that the manager himself should be having the credentials. But the main channel for vlogging should just be left for vlogging, which means the main channel for vlogging, that is Iammarwa and himself, Iammarwa Untamed, Iammarwa Unchanged. But the second channel for businesses, it should be channel that Iammarwa is controlled, Iammarwa is refined, Iammarwa it's been modeled to a picture that the clients and the corporate society wants him to be. Because I'm seeing a risk here when Iammarwa mix it with the main channel. The main channel should remain for vlogging, but the second channel should be specifically for endorsing corporates and brands and business, where the manager would also be co-opted as a partner into that, I think that one would be the best thing. I tell you, where Amara is, Amara should be daily, the food that Amara eats, the car that Amara drive, Amara should be having a place where he fuels the gas free of charge just because he's endorsing such kind of people. Amara should be living freely on this kind of brands, because this is the gaps that were untapped. That arrival of this brand manager, I think the brand manager is going to tap these things and make these things so viable. So happy with the 43 pages of proposals. I think all these were captured, and I believe so. This is just an opinion and an advice that I'm fronting forth. I've not done anything calling the brand manager brand positioning. I'm not good at that. I'm of a different profession, but it's good always to give advice of what we see. You form opinion. Therefore, I also seek opinion at the comment sections going forward. On the other end, I told you the second thing that you want to look at is about the Brian's shocking ordeal. What is it in for Brian? Because Brian stands a wanted man. There is a story that cropped up when Amara put it on the camera, and the story itself shocked the majority. You know that Iammarwa, that Brian himself, these things of stealing people's properties were far and beyond. We are getting a story that a young man who adopted Brian and started to help Brian, the guy was dealt a blow with Brian, and the guy was arrested by the police on the crimes that Brian had done. The guy has lost hope, and the guy had to find his way out, promising to pay, of which the guy did payment, only remaining 5,000. So, because of Iammarwa's vlog has become a brand and go viral, this guy happened to see and watch the ordeal of Brian that found Brian at Amara's place. The guy decided to follow up, and upon sorting out Brian, then things unravel in a way that we were shocked. Yours truly was seriously shocked. Perhaps let us watch this small video, then I will give you the gist. Story, and Amara, as I've explained it so explicitly, that's what you understand. But this is not the time when Brian should be castigated. The only thing going forward, that is a nature of Brian, that is what really Brian was doing. Because I've seen majority of people now have started castigating this young man. We know Brian is still young. And I think Brian might have been facilitated to do such kind of crimes because Brian never had any guardian who could really lead him. There was a gap existing that Brian was missing the father figure, even a mother figure who could really give this guy a direction. This is where now Amara is filling up now. And that's why you see Brian, when Amara took issues of building them houses, Brian has never stepped in outside to go and do all that kind of shenanigans because his movement is controlled. You haven't seen anybody complaining when the construction itself is being done and people have got cameras and everything. Brian has never touched any of it because he knows the repercussion now. Well, the only thing that I needed to do, because Brian lacked the father figure. That's why Brian never had food, never had clothing. All the basic needs were never there. That's why Brian was so desperate and resorted to doing all these things just to fend for himself back at home. Because the grandma is old. We've all seen the grandma. Grandma could hardly speak. Grandma is such somebody who is shy of and innocent that cannot even cope up with Brian. So therefore, the missing link in Brian is somebody in between that could really nurture this boy's character and show him the way. I think that was the trajectory. From the old story, that's what I learned. That the guy only missed a guardian, somebody, a father figure or a mother figure who could really guide him. And he was doing this for food because 5,000 you sell a phone just to eat Indomie. It simply means this guy needed only food. Then the issue will be sorted and some kind of guidance. The sister is working, which means the parental linkage itself is broken. Hence the behavior that's really become antisocial. That was really what was happening with Brian. I think going forward, Brian has seen and Brian has been put into all these YouTubes, and now he sees the repercussion. Now everybody knows that Brian's behavior was antisocial. So that if Brian decides to go and steals again, then people will come for him. I think it should be let known that Brian, going forward, you should cease stealing. You must stop it because you see, people will follow you. But next time you decide to engage with it, therefore, that is your fate. That is your fate. The boy shouldn't be left at that moment. The boy should be taken to school. That's why I was championing for the boarding school. More so, this faith-based organization, boarding school. More so, the Catholic will perform so excellence at that primary level. I think at that moment, its behavior shall be modeled. To the naysayers who will want to bring all kind of sorts of reactions so negatively that are not orienting this young man, Brian's behavior, the only thing I need to tell you, if you have a child back at your home, please guide him. Stop strolling other people's children. Stop strolling other people's children. I know, in as much as you hate Iammarwa, your hatred should never be extended to Brian. Your hatred and jealousy should never be for Brian because Brian's are being built a house for. I know majority of you have got nothing to count. Majority of you have done nothing into their lives. There's nothing constructive that you guys have done. The only thing that you've done is building some YouTubes with 6,000 subscribers, 10, 11,000 subscribers. That is what you count as an asset. There's nothing to show. So you must cut Brian some slacks. So guys, let me hear your thought in the comment section. What do you think of Brian? And what do you think of Iammarwa's unveiled brand manager? Are you pro it or are you against it? Now that I've explained to you the existing gaps that I feel as a person that should be tapped, what now do you feel? And what is the advice that you can give Iammarwa when it comes to brand position with the brand manager and Brian's issues going forward? Until next time, this is your boy, Senior Zach.